Our next speaker is John Perkins, founder and president of the Secular Party of Australia. John was at the commissioning mass at Telstra Dome on Friday night, offering pilgrims $100,000 if they could prove that their religion was the true religion. Congrats, John, for getting onto the front page of The Age for your publicity stunt. John will be talking about free speech. What are we allowed to say about religions? John will respond to the new draconian laws passed in New South Wales that hinder our civil liberties.
Thanks very much, Jason.
There's a volume thing on this.
Hold that in tight.
Australia is supposed to be a secular country. Actually, we are not. We are supposed to have freedom of speech. Are we losing it? In the 1870s, a law was enacted in this place that said that education should be universal, secular and free. We have lost that. In 1901, Section 116 of the Australian Constitution said that the Commonwealth shall make no law for the establishing of any religion. In 1982, the High Court threw that out and said that there was no separation of church and state in Australia. In terms of government policies and laws, we are becoming less secular. We are going backwards. This is especially so on the question of freedom of speech. No one is suggesting that religious people do not have the right to hold their beliefs and their events. We also have the right to express our views. The prevailing view seems to be that religions deserve respect and that therefore they should not be questioned or criticised. I agree that we do have to be polite when talking about religion, but there are certain questions that we should be able to ask and we need to ask. We need to protect our freedom of speech by using it. In the religious vilification case between the Catch the Fire Ministries and the Islamic Council of Victoria, one of the strange things about that strange case was that the church group was not allowed to quote the Quran in court. Why? Because the judge said that quoting the Quran could be offensive to Muslims. Go figure. It's very important, apparently, to protect religious sensibilities. But is it better to form beliefs on the basis of religion and evidence or on blind faith? Should belief in the supernatural mean you can avoid answering questions as well as being a way of avoiding paying taxes?
No!
In the city of Darabin, they have an interfaith council where various different groups can come and talk together and be nice to each other, which is good. Their representative gave a talk to the Humanist Society. I asked the question, would it be possible for a free thinker such as myself to go to any of their meetings and ask the question of all the religious groups, which religion is true, if any? No, you cannot ask that question. He was very adamant about it. You can't ask questions like that. And next year in Melbourne, there's going to be a World Parliament of Religions. And again, you can't ask that basic question. Which religion is true, if any? There is a pretense going on. The Pope has said that freedom of speech does not imply the right to offend the religious sentiments of others. sentiments. Is the Pope getting sentimental? I think I agree with the Pope that religious beliefs are based more on sentiment than rational judgment. Should we be expected to avoid offending sentiments when basic human rights are at stake? I don't think so. Unfortunately, these views of the Pope have actually been pushed through the United Nations at the instigation of Islamic countries in March this year. This is a diabolical development that has not been reported in the daily press. In the United Nations Human Rights Council, it is now not possible to say anything that can be construed as being critical of religion. If someone wants to speak out against Sharia laws that require women to be stoned to death for adultery in the Human Rights Council, they cannot speak. They will be ruled out of order. This is true, it has happened. Our government has done nothing about it. If you want to know more about this, you can Google on the name Roy Brown Human Rights and you will find out. The threat to our freedom of speech and other basic rights is real. Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that everyone has the right to freedom of expression and opinion. We need to defend this right. It includes the right to express views about religion. Humans have human rights, religions do not.
Yeah.
Article 18 of the Universal Declaration says that everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience and religion. There is no right to impose religious views on others. Freedom of thought comes first, and that includes for children. In terms of its institutions, Australia is not a secular country. Secularism is more than being impartial between religions. It is being impartial between religions and non-religions. The government gives billions of dollars to religions in terms of subsidies and tax breaks. If the state was impartial, it would also give money to humanists, rationalists, secularists and atheists. Where is our money?
Yeah! Money!
In The Age recently, Michael Gwenda wrote that even though America is a religious country, at least the education system is secular. They do not fund faith schools. He said that the major legacy of the Howard government was the enormous boost given to faith-based schools. Gwenda concluded that the notion that a secular liberal democracy is underpinned by a free and universal secular education for all children is now well and truly dead in Australia. No political party supports it. I would just like to say that this notion is not dead and that the secular party is dedicated to bringing back this ideal. Thank you.